Welcome to Play Hard and Love Big Radio, the official podcast of Spotted Dog Yoga and Sup, based out of Folsom, California. Check us out at spotteddogyoga.com for amazing training programs, stand-up paddleboard yoga, and retreats. We have a retreat coming up to Colorado in June. You should join us for that amazing adventure. Play Hard and Love Big Radio is dedicated to bringing you the inspirational people and their stories to help you connect to your center in the hopes that you go out and make a bigger difference in your community. As we wrap up season number 6, which has been an incredible season for Play Hard and Love Big Radio, we are revisiting some interviews that we did with members of Hearts for Heroes USA. Hearts for Heroes USA is an organization based out of Folsom, California, that is doing incredible things for first responders and their families, including placing therapy dogs in police departments and fire departments. And not just placing them, but taking care of them for the life of their service. In this incredible interview, I'm speaking with Lieutenant Michael Wells of the Citrus Heights Police Department. Michael Wells and his dog Ellie join us for this interview to talk about what it was like and what it is like to have the first dog placed by Hearts for Heroes USA in a police department, and why it is that he thinks that soon these dogs are going to be something that is mandatory for the health and wellness of people working in the departments. Again, thank you so much for following Play Hard and Love Big Radio. My name is Nick Clark. Enjoy this incredible episode with Lieutenant Michael Wells from the Citrus Heights Police Department and his dog, Ellie, who was placed by Hearts for Heroes USA.
My name is Michael Wells, and I'm a lieutenant with the Citrus Heights Police Department. I've been in law enforcement for about 23 years now. I started my law enforcement career in Oakland, where I did about 5 years down with Oakland PD, and then moved up to Citrus Heights in 2006. So been with them for a while now. My current assignment is I'm a patrol watch commander, and I oversee our patrol division. And one of my ancillary assignments is I oversee our SWAT team and our traffic division. 6 months ago, our wellness team was getting into the idea of getting a Hearts for Heroes dog. We were starting to get in contact with them and improving our wellness program. So they reached out to me and asked if I was interested in doing that. So, of course, I was eager to hear about it, met up with Shelly in the Hearts for Heroes team, and was excited to be able to be selected as our first handler for the Citrus Heights Police Department.
What has it taken for you to learn to be a handler and to work with her?
It takes a lot. When I first got her, I don't think I really quite understood the expectation or the time commitment that it was going to entail. But before I even got her, I had to train with her for about 2 months, where I regularly went up to the training site about 3 to 4 days a week. That was about an hour and a half each day. And actually, I started bringing my family up there because Ellie comes home with me as well. And so the family need to understand the requirements also. So it basically became a whole family process where they would go up and train, and we would get used to working with her each day, learning the routine and kind of the correct way to handle her and what not to do.
What is the transition like for Ellie moving from the police station back into the house?
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. Again, she was originally, the plan was her to be more an internal wellness dog, for the officers to help with their decompression and their stress. But we didn't realize the benefits that she would do for the community. And that's been the amazing part. She goes with me to a lot of community and neighborhood events. And oftentimes in the past, people would be hesitant to come up and talk to someone in a uniform like this. And when they see Ellie at my side, a lot of times she can be the kind of that conduit or that bridge to where people are more comfortable to come up and talk to me in uniform. So when I'm out dealing with the community and the stakeholders in the community, she's really that person that she's just so approachable. People come up, we'll chat with her, and then naturally we get into a conversation. So she builds those bridges.
Why is it important to build a positive bridge between you and the community?
Our motto is, we don't police our community, we police with our community. And so we want to make sure that we understand what they're looking for, and we have to have those relationships with them in the field. So again, she's just kind of that bridge to be able to get out there, speak to people on a common level, and really get to know people in the community.
Why is that important for a kid to be comfortable around police and build that relationship?
Well, it's a great point, because it is important that they understand that we're there to help. And the goal is that they understand that in advance, and not during a time of crisis is the time that they learn that we're here to help. So if we can build those relationships early on, where the kids know that these uniforms are people that they run to and we are associated with help, I'd rather they learn that on the front end rather than in a time of, heaven forbid, in a crisis when we have to show up. They'll know that in advance.
Can you talk about the different ways in which Ellie has trained to desensitize to the police station?
Yeah, so she's definitely figured out her way around the building. She's quickly learned where the break room is in the building. She knows where that is. But it's quite interesting. I have a kennel in my office, and in the beginning, I was really strict with how I let her roam. But these days, she'll come and go on about a 20-minute gap, and she has her routine throughout the building. She'll stop in different offices. She'll visit our first responders up over in dispatch. And even our investigations wing, where it's a secured area, it's a locked door, she'll actually sit out there and she'll bark twice, and they know that that's Ellie outside that wants to come in, and they'll come in and let her in. So she knows the areas. We also have our property and evidence, our CSI group that's locked. She'll sit outside there and bark twice, and they'll come and get her when they want her to come in. So she knows where to go, and it's pretty impressive how she makes her rounds around the building.
Overall, how have people embraced her as a part of the community?
Oh, I mean, it's to the point where I can't go anywhere without her. It's where's who are you and where's Ellie is kind of what I get more than anything. It's I'm the guy that has Ellie, and if I don't have her, I let people down and disappoint them. So that's kind of funny. But she is definitely well known. She's utilized on our social media campaigns, and she's very well sought after. I can tell you, we have neighborhood association meetings throughout the communities, and she is very requested to come and speak at those events.
What are you noticing in the interactions that people are having with her as far as their demeanor?
Yeah, I mean, you can immediately see the decompression, the stress relief when they get to see her. And the part I can't explain, but I see is I know when the officers or our dispatchers are on a critical call or have had a critical incident. And the fact that it seems like she can sense that and pick them out of the crowd, she'll come find an officer she normally doesn't necessarily associate with, and she will go up and sit down next to them, put her head on their lap, and it's almost like she knows they need that moment, and immediately they'll pet on her, they'll give her a little love, and you can automatically see that stress level comes down. It's something innate that she's able to do. I don't understand it, but you can truly see it, that she can pick up on it.
What is it about her, other than just her intuition, that allows people to open up and to relax?
I think for us, it's just not a normal thing to have around a police organization. And we think of it as kind of a sterile environment, this department that we work in. And just by simply having a dog in that arena, it makes it more of a family, a home, as opposed to a sterile environment. So I think it's kind of thinking outside the box, having her there kind of brings the guard down to a lot of our folks that we're always guarded just because of the nature of our job.
How have you seen the approach to mental health and wellness change?
I think it's changed tremendously over the years for the better. Unfortunately, as I mentioned, when I started my career early on, we see a lot of tragic and horrific things in this industry. It's not stuff that people are supposed to see day in and day out. And back when I started, we would go, as we called it, church, and that was to go hang out afterwards and have a few sodas, I'll just say. And that was the way, and you're supposed to, pack it down, don't talk about it, don't let it out. And we've learned, unfortunately, because I've lost friends that bottled it up too much and didn't get the wellness that they needed. That wasn't the way to do it. So over the years, we've really worked on it as an industry to try to get better at that and realize it's not a bad thing to talk about these things. It's not normal to experience what we experience, but let's try to figure out a way to get past it. So, again, the fact that our chief of police was so open and willing to bring her in, I think we're the first police department within Hearts for Heroes, shows that our department's, really into this wellness and really open to new ideas. And that means a lot.
What would you say to other police departments who are considering having Hearts for Heroes and having a dog around why it is that they should consider doing this?
I think it's one of those things we have to do right by our employees. We have to treat our employees better than we probably were raised in the industry and realize the way we came up isn't correct. We need to make sure that we try to send these folks back to their families better than when we found them. And unfortunately, back in the day, we were traumatized and went back to our families worse off than we got to work. And that's where she comes in. Again, she can help people calm down, help decompress, and help with that wellness program. We had our detectives that are unfortunately working kind of a horrific case where two girls, ages 4 and 6, were victims of a pretty heinous crime. The detectives were trying to interview those girls, and they just couldn't build the rapport where the girls could get comfortable enough. but we needed to get that information to get a prosecution. So it was brought up to maybe bring Ellie in, see if she could help build that rapport. And again, that wasn't the original intent for the wellness program, but we thought, let's give this a try. And sure enough, within about a minute of bringing Ellie into the room, those two little girls were hugging on her, petting her, and they were willing to answer any question the detectives had. And it just, again, built that bridge and that rapport. And they were comfortable enough to talk to our officers and our detectives. They were able to make the case they needed. And again, it was one of those where it was not the plan, but we were thinking, let's give this a try. And it was like immediate. When we brought her into the room, the little girls were like, yeah, what do you want me to tell you? No problem. And
Yeah.
again, we could not have made that prosecution without that.
You just never know how useful at one given moment that these dogs could be.
Absolutely. I mean, it's everywhere that I go. When I deal with her, just the community, the work that she does, we have a lot of people in the community that support her. And I'll tell you one of the stories that I thought was interesting. She had to have a surgery as she was getting of age where we didn't want her to have puppies. So one of the local veterinary groups said they were going to do the surgery for free, which was fantastic. And when I went to go to the vet to have the surgery done, he had his entire staff in the room and he wanted to explain why they were doing it. And he told the story, and I thought it came full circle. He said, Ellie's job is to be there for our first responders and make them calm, cool, and collect so that they can go do their job. Their job is to go out and protect the community, and we're a part of that community. So as a community, we're going to take care of Ellie so that she can take care of the officers. So it's kind of this cool full circle thing that we're all working together to make the community a better place. She just opened so many doors that we normally couldn't do. Everybody's a lot of times intimidated and scared by the uniform. At the end of the day, we're just people too, and they won't get to see the people side of us until we can get Ellie to kind of open up those doors for us.
Yeah, superhero Ellie, man. It's like, who's Michael Wells? Where's Ellie?
Absolutely. And I don't know if you know, so Ellie, it's spelled out Ellie, but her hidden name is actually LE for law enforcement. So she's got kind of a little secret name there.
But what is it that you do and focus on to help provide mental and physical health and clearing for your employees?
Well, I think we have a wellness team where they're a peer support team where they've been trained and things like that to where they understand what to look for. We try to provide our supervisor with different things and tools to where they're looking for the officers. Is something different about the officers? Are they calling in sick? Or are they a little bit late? Are they a little off their game? Because a lot of times there's red flags that we could have seen a lot sooner. You just got to know what to be looking for. So our wellness team does, our peer support team looks for things like that. Obviously, we brought Ellie into our wellness portfolio. The other thing we have is we have a workout program at our department where part of our wellness is we get an hour of fitness time each day on our shift. We know that fitness is important to healthy lifestyles, so we do that. And then just subtle things like we have a quiet room now where officers can go settle down and kind of decompress. So we try to just deliver the whole package for the officers, and they can kind of choose which tool they think they need to try to better themselves.
With Hearts for Hero USA, Paw Platoon placement, and the development of this organization, what do you see as a big picture possibility in the realm of mental health for police departments, fire departments, military across the country?
Right now, I think that these dogs are kind of exceptions, whereas I think in the future it's going to be an expectation to have these dogs everywhere. I think we're going to see the benefits of these dogs and what they can do for the organizations. I think it's endless where we could take these dogs, and Hearts for Heroes is, I think, just a trailblazer, and it's amazing the fact that they're willing to reach out. They do so much work to fundraise and do all this great stuff for our first responders. So I can't thank them enough for all that they do. They really provide a resource that we didn't know we needed until Ellie got there. So I think we just need to keep ringing that bell that, hey, you guys, this is an asset to your team and your wellness program that you need to have, and we need to get them out there to every department within fire and police. And again, Hearts for Heroes, we wouldn't have been able to do it without them. So we're really grateful for that partnership.
What would you say to other chiefs of police? Like what would you say to them and how it could be beneficial for their organization?
I'd say take the time, do the research, reach out to people. I'd be happy to go talk to any police chief out there, have them visit our organization, see how it works, see the benefits. Until you see it firsthand, you can't really explain it. You just can't words can't explain when you see her walking through the building and how the stress reliefs off people and how much calming presence she has around there. So I'd recommend any chief come around, see how it works. Hearts for Heroes provides so many resources. It's really not a cost out of pocket. It's really just a time out of pocket. Devote the time. It's worth it. And again, she's a game changer to have around the building. And I think it's a complete loss for any chief that doesn't have an open mind to look into this for their wellness program.
What is it going to take, in your opinion, to get this program out to more people from the community?
Well, obviously, I know Hearts for Heroes needs that community support. You know, we need the folks that are willing to donate the training facilities to keep the program going so that the dogs are prepared to go out in the field and do the job that they need to do. We need to have businesses that are willing to support and donate food so we can obviously have the nutrition for the dogs. You know, the vets to be able to cover the very expensive bills that are associated with these things. So I think going back to that story of our vet, getting the businesses and the community to understand this is a full circle thing. These dogs can help the officers will help the community. And again, we all partnership together and we can hopefully make things a better place.
What is it about Shelly and Bruce and Hearts for Heroes and the trainers in this organization that you love and respect? And why is it that you back this program?
I don't know how they have the hours in the day to accomplish the things that they do. And I don't know where she gets her energy, but the two of them are absolutely nonstop. And I tip my cap to them because they are constantly out there grinding for this program. They're constantly donating their time for this program, you know, out there hustling, trying to get donations to keep this thing afloat. I know they started probably from the ground up, bootstrapped, and they're building it as they go. And they just are amazing people. They truly care about the first responders. And I think they truly understand that we need this kind of wellness. And the fact that they're willing to do it and devote so much time is absolutely appreciative. And I commend them for it.
How has Ellie made a difference for you in your life?
I don't have enough time in the day to tell you all about what she's done for me. But again, she's just opened so many gateways for me, so many doors to meet different people that I wouldn't have met before. I've built so many relationships, even amongst the department where I've known everybody for a long time, but people will stop by my office just to see Ellie. And then it gives me a moment to build the relationship that I maybe didn't have with that employee or that coworker. Same thing with the community. I've met so many great people out in the community that I would have never met without her. I didn't realize what I was missing until I got her. And I couldn't imagine doing this job and going out in public or being in the department without her by my side.
Say, Mike and Ellie, thank you so much for your service. And, really, thank you for sharing so much about what it is that Ellie has done for the department and done for you, because it really has opened up my eyes to new possibilities, just
Absolutely.
like even at that last thing you just spoke to about building community within your community. Like that's something that I haven't yet heard, is like how she's really bridging the gap, even with those people you've worked with for a really, really long time, to get to know them better. And I know with community that really can open people up and help share, right?
No, absolutely. Like I said, she is a huge draw in the community. Social media, anytime I do some of our social media stuff, I'm pretty active there. And whenever I post her, it's wildfire, So, and then when she's speaking, I'll say at a neighborhood association, definitely ups the attendance that's going to be coming. So it's kind of funny.
Thank you for tuning in to this amazing episode of Play Hard and Love Big Radio with Lieutenant Michael Wells from the Citrus Heights Police Department and his dog Ellie, who was placed by Hearts for Heroes USA, a nonprofit organization based out of Folsom, California. I think that you got a really good idea of what this organization does and why it's making a huge difference in the world. I think you got a good idea why it is that we support them and why we believe in their mission as well. To learn more about Hearts for Heroes USA or to donate money to their cause or your services, go to heartsforheroesusa.org. Thank you so much for sharing these episodes with your friends and family. It helps us reach more people. Also, thank you so much for leaving us reviews, positive ones, and sharing the love. The more that you do that, the more that the algorithm says we're good, and the more that people get to hear these amazing things. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you on the next episode of Play Hard and Love Big Radio. See ya.